Live from the Tone Lounge at the Institute for Tone Science in downtown Greensboro, Megatone Amps presents The Talk of Teronus with Wezo and Drave, featuring Chuck Cotton and the Talk of Teronus Rimshot Band. Sitting in for Chuck Cotton on drums, Chip Click. And tonight's special guest, Bruce Piephoff. So now, ladies and gentlemen, and Meldavians everywhere, here's Wezo and Drave.
Bruce Piephoff, ladies and gentlemen.
Bruce Piephoff.
A resident of Greensboro, but actually a world-famous musician, writing folk songs and rock songs and blues songs.
And singer. Awesome singer.
And you've been singing a lot with Scott Sawyer lately, and Scott's a friend of the show, been on here. So we're saying all this to say welcome to the show. Would you like to say something?
So nice to be here.
And cut.
Thanks, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you.
Just kidding.
It's good to have you on the show.
Hey, man, I know for a fact, because I used to go see you in the 70s and the 80s and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, you didn't know that, but I was a big fan of yours way back then. And we didn't really know each other.
But you're in Winston and I was over here, so we couldn't hang together.
Yeah,
But
there's that law
They don't
has
allow
since
that,
been
right?
repealed,
Yeah.
and now we can hang, and I'm glad we are, because I've always been a big fan.
Apparently, they forgot to tell my friends that no.
But I used to be a guitar player and playing folk stuff and I played the what they call that thing, the coffee house circuit, and then small bars and restaurants and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that's your specialty.
I've seen pictures of you back in that day with the long. You had the long hair.
I haven't got it cut since.
I know.
This is my thing.
Yeah, I knew you.
I'm
I
still
knew that you
rebelling
were a
against my
singer-songwriter.
dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about that.
No, well, we can't talk about that right now. Let's talk a little bit about you. Tell us a little bit, how you got started playing. What got you interested in playing?
My father played the guitar. He was kind of a shade tree guitarist.
Yeah.
He wasn't trying to pursue it as a career. He was a professional weightlifter.
Oh, man.
And my mother was a visual artist. And so I'm kind of a hybrid of a weightlifter and a visual artist.
That's the way I've always pictured you.
But the guitar was there in the house when I was in high school.
Well, wait a
It's
minute.
my dad.
What kind of guitar was it?
It was
Old Martin or
Martin.
was it?
D35.
Cool.
My dad's guitar, and I still have it.
He had good taste.
I'd love to see that sometime.
Well,
Yeah.
he and I both bought Martins in 1968.
No kidding.
I got a D28 and he got a D35. They were $500 a piece.
No kidding.
And so
What do you play? What do you play mostly today? What's your
the D28.
The D28.
I'm
Are you
playing
still
that
playing
same
that?
That's what you have with you today?
Yeah.
We're gonna
You
get
play your dad's guitar out?
I have his guitar, but
Occasionally.
I don't play it that much. I play the D35, the D28, and I've got a J45 Gibson.
I love
1940
J45s, man.
1944.
Oh, no kidding.
But that's the one
That's
I
one
play
of my
when I'm sitting
favorite
around the
pieces of
house.
guitar.
Like if we were to get together and jam in my house, that's the guitar I play. But it's got those plastic tuners. It's kind of fragile,
Right,
so I wouldn't want
Gotcha.
you to fall on it. Or something.
Well, and that could very well happen.
It could.
Yeah. Or you could fall, because we'd be together. And you know what's going to happen? One of us is
That
gonna
only
die.
happens when I'm around you.
I know. Well,
You're a fantastic.
You're welcome.
You're a fantastic songwriter, and we have lots of songwriters
Thank you.
that watch the show, and I mean that. And especially your lyrics are known for being very penetrating and very honest.
and
And I was wondering if you have any tips for people from a songwriter.
Good
So,
question.
where do you get your inspiration for lyrics, and how does it unfold into a song? Can you talk about that?
Well, I think the thing, and you probably feel like this is, if you want to write songs, the thing is to be available to write them.
yeah.
If you're hanging out there with a pencil in your hand and you're letting stuff come in, that's the way a lot of songwriters describe it. These things just
Always
kind of
be
come
ready.
from
Always be ready.
out of
Yeah.
space, in a
It doesn't work
spaceship.
that well when you're actually trying to write a song. If if you're under the gun and you go, well, I got to write 5 songs this week. For me, it never worked that way. Like you, I just had to let it come to me.
Now, what if you don't have a guitar with you when you get struck with that inspiration, but you do have pencil and paper, so you'll write down some words? Can you remember a melody in your head, and then remember that later, and go back to that and develop the melody also?
Well, usually the words come to me easier than the melodies.
Yeah.
For a melody, I need to be like picking on the guitar,
Sure.
come up with a riff, something like that.
Yeah.
But the common question is which comes first, the words or the music, and I don't
It's
say
really not one.
Either way.
Either way, yeah.
you know.
It happens equally one way or the other.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what I found.
I think what first has to happen is the buzz. And then it doesn't matter which comes next, the words or the lyrics. As long as you got the buzz.
Something's got to move you,
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just like one word or a phrase. You're riding down the highway and you see Bluesville on the sign, or you see Society Hill.
You keep a pad with you in case something hits you. You write it down. You do that.
I got on my cell phone. Sometimes I'll just record something. If I get an idea if I'm not walking, because it's easy to forget.
It really is. I mean, you probably had the same thing when you're dreaming or you're thinking one night and then you go to sleep and you're thinking the whole time about that tune or that phrase or that lyric or whatever, or melody, and you're thinking, I'm going to remember that, and then tomorrow I'm going to finish that song. And I wake up often and I go, where is it? I can't access it anymore. And I
used to always keep a composition notebook.
Yeah.
I always kept that beside the bed because there are some songs that I've written kind of like sometimes if you wake up and you go back to sleep for a while, that seems to be a time when a lot of ideas kind of float through your subconscious.
Yeah.
And I've written a few down that from my sleep. Not while I was asleep,
Yeah.
right when I woke up.
Oh, well, that's cool. I've always tried to do that, but it never worked out for me. I guess you got to have a pad by your bed. I wasn't that disciplined.
Now, I hear you've got a project coming up with David Childress also.
David Childress, Scott and I have done a few tours with him, and he's a singer-songwriter, lawyer, poet.
Where's he based out of?
He's a lawyer and a poet.
He's a lawyer.
Wow.
He's a poet. He's a painter.
Is he based in Asheville?
He's in Mount Holly near Charlotte.
Mount Holly, okay.
And Scott Sawyer and I did some touring with him, and he's talking to us about doing some recording.
Wow.
That's really awesome.
An album with the three of us.
That'd be great.
Some of my songs, some of his songs. So
You've recorded a bunch of albums, haven't you?
You got 19 albums out, I think,
23.
Right? 23.
23 albums.
23.
That's amazing. I don't know if any of our guests have that many albums out. That may
None
be
of
the
them
record
do.
for our guests. So.
We'd have to go to people like the
tonight.
Stones and stuff like that to get
Some of them are
to
better than others.
Well, yeah.
I guess. But
By the way,
Have you got a favorite? Or is the last one you did?
I like the recent ones, but I like some of the old ones too.
Yeah.
Actually, the first record I ever made was a vinyl LP called Razor's Edge. And,
Wow, cool.
it might be my best work because when you make that first record, as you know, because you just made a record,
Yeah.
that you've been building up toward for many, many years. You have a lot of material, a lot to draw from on that first record.
Yeah. Plus, that first one's really honest and uncontrived.
I don't know, man. I think they're all honest, and I like I really like the last two that I've done with Scott Sawyer and a lot of
excellent work.
and they're getting great reviews.
In fact, I remember the last one we previewed right here on the Tone Lounge.
We did.
On the couch over there.
Yes, we did.
And man, it was
Sounded
great
good
stuff.
in here, didn't it?
It sounded awesome in here.
And I believe Scott Sawyer is going to join us on the song that we're going to do in a minute here.
He is.
Society Hill. Anything you want to tell us about Society Hill? Is that the...
Well, I was just talking about how you get ideas for songs sometimes by a phrase or something you see like on a site.
Right.
I worked in Wadesboro, this little town near Charlotte. I was doing an artist in residence gig there for a whole year.
Yeah.
It's kind of a real small town atmosphere, but we used to drive from there down to the beach, to Myrtle Beach, and we went through this little town called Society Hill.
I've seen that town. That's where
Have
I've
you
seen it. Yeah. Driving to the beach.
I used to always...
I thought it was a myth.
I'd drive through there, man, in my imagination, and I just wondered what goes on in this little town, Society Hill. And that kind of was the jumping off place.
So did you move?
That's awesome.
Did you move to Society Hill?
No, I always wanted to, but
I always
I figure
imagined
being
you
in
living there.
Wadesboro, it's just this, obscure.
All right, well, man, thank you.
Whiteville.
Well, thank you so much for being on our show.
Thanks.
And we're going to take a short break here. We're going to be back playing some
But
music.
first, we have a gift for you.
Give it.
Anytime you get an idea on a composition pad or an iPad or a phone or anything about songs, you can store them in your bag of Meldavian.
Or you can use Bag of Meldavian for maybe your next song title.
Yeah,
About that?
because they meant Bag of Meldavian. Wonder what goes on. Wonder what's in that person's bag of Meldavian. There you have another
Whatever
song.
goes in there stays.
You could do
in there.
a Bag of Meldavian suite.
This might be the next record.
Yeah.
All right.
After the children's record.
Bruce
Yeah.
Piephoff, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back after this dramatic reading.
In 3, 2, 1.
Hi, I'm Dr. Drave.
And I'm Wezo.
And tonight, as you can see by my fancy wardrobe, it is dramatic reading night again.
I love this segment.
This is a great segment. People are loving the excerpts we're reading. This is our library right here. Tonight we're going to read from The Road by Cormac McCarthy, and Wezo has kindly allowed me to be the reader tonight. Why did you decide to do that, Wezo?
Well, because you're such a damn great dramatic reader.
I really am.
Yeah.
But what really makes it work, remember folks, it's the traditional Meldavian dramatic reading pose, which Wezo is striking at the very moment. So here we go. They slept through the night in their exhaustion, and in the morning the fire was dead and black on the ground. He pulled on his muddy shoes and went to gather wood, blowing on his cupped hands. So cold, it could be November.
Ooh.
It could be later. He got a fire going and walked out to the edge of the woodlot and stood looking over the countryside, the dead fields, a barn in the distance. Ladies and gentlemen, Cormac McCarthy, The Road. As good as that is, though, what?
Man, I'll tell you what, if you like that, you're going to love our next guest. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
And remember,
It's all about us. Yo. And cut.
Okay.
Now, Bruce Piephoff with Scott Sawyer.
I got a gal that lives up on Society Hill. Got a good gal that lives up on Society Hill. She always tells the truth and let her stay up there still. She's got cases of time all bottled up inside. She's got cases of time all bottled up inside. Life's a red light, hitchhiking for a ride. All the people's around her about as scared as $1,000,000. All the people's around her about as scared as $1,000,000. 'Cause I'm a sleeping giant, a little bit down on my luck. Now the cotton this evening looks like new fallen snow. The cotton this evening looks like new fallen snow. The blankets of fields here around Statesboro. The mill's closed early, going down to the fish camp. The mill's closed early, going down to the fish camp. Friday night we won't be turning down the lamps. I got my cigarettes rolled up in my white t-shirt. I got my cigarettes rolled up in my white t-shirt. Hair's combed back, been working down in the dirt. Get down in the dirt, Scott. I don't beat the bushes, I go straight for the heart. I don't beat the bushes, I go straight for the heart. I got a nuclear family about to blow my head apart. Feel like I'm floating on a mattress down in a hurricane. Feel like I'm floating on a mattress down in a hurricane. I just keep on singing to keep from going insane. I'm gonna dance with my baby at Moon's Dance Land tonight. I'm gonna dance with my baby at Moon's Dance Land tonight. I'll reinvent myself and everything will be alright. The bigger the fire, the bigger the fool, they say. The bigger the fire, the bigger the fool, they say. There's 3 on a match, I'm a fool on fire today. Like a minnow in the ocean, going through the motions each day. Like a minnow in the ocean, going through the motions each day. Better make your move before time slips away. I got a gal lives up on Society Hill. Got a good gal lives up on Society Hill. She always tells the truth and they let her stay up there still.
Man, that was great, guys.
Society Hill. Bruce Piephoff, Scott Sawyer, and on bass, the Roger Kohrs himself.
That's right. That was great. And we'd like to thank Roger and Bruce and Scott for doing this tonight with us.
And for being our guest, Bruce.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, let's not forget the bag of Meldavian.
I think he already has that, doesn't he? Did we give you a bag?
I got
yet?
the bag.
Oh, he's already got the bag.
He's got one. There's another over there if you want it.
Anyway,
If any
we
of
give
you out
all
there
our
want a bag, just write us and let
Let me
us
see.
know.
Hold
We'd
that
like to
bag.
thank
Oh, yeah.
them.
Check it out.
Mixed bag.
Hey, that could be your next album cover.
Mixed bag.
No,
Where's your name?
Bag of
Sorry.
Meldavian.
Oh, okay.
In fact, you'll be right online with Annalise's,
I'll think about it.
That's right.
because she's going to do the same thing.
That's right.
Okay.
We, as always, we'd like to thank the Collaborative, Chris Ferris, Melody Watson, Bob Powell, the whole crew for helping out with the show.
Dale at
Dale
MegatonAmps.com.
We're going to get Dale's picture and put it up there, we promise. Join us again for our next guest next month. And remember, it's all
about us.
Welcome to Talk Up Teronus with Wezo and Drave.
I'm Wezo.
And I'm Drave. And our guest today is
By the way, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
This is the last half of our third season.
It is.
And how many people get to a third season?
Get to a third season, and then when we actually let's go ahead and announce right now. Sorry, Bruce, we'll get to you in a second. Let's go ahead and announce right now we've been picked up for a fourth season, so that's good news.
That's awesome.
And our guests keep getting better and better, as evidenced by who's sitting here right.
I'm telling you what. Introduce him.
What's his name? Who are you?